let's talk about more of that scummy scammer, Donald Trump, and his racism. So he posted this today, the 29th. Self-proclaimed New York City communist Zohran Mamdani, who is running for mayor of New York City, will prove to be one of the best things to ever happen to our greatest Republican Party. He is going to have problems with Washington like no mayor in the history of our once great city. Remember, he needs the money from me as president in order to fulfill all of his fake communist promises. He won't be getting any of it. So what's the point of voting for him? The ideology has failed. Always, for thousands of years. It will fail again, and that's guaranteed. President DJT. This man, I can't even call him a man, he's scum. Just, do you not read between the lines? He's basically saying that because Zohran Mamdani is Muslim and he has ideas that oppose the ideas of the Republican Party and Donald Trump and his administration, he is going to withhold federal funding from New York City if New York City elects Zohran Mamdani as the New York City mayor in the upcoming election. That's called election interference. That's called election meddling. That is what that is called, Donald Trump. And I guess Donald Trump is no stranger when it comes to election interference. I mean, there's starting to become credible evidence that have been excavated over the past few months that Donald Trump's election win could be possibly fraudulent. And it could result from election manipulation and interference. So that's why I say Donald Trump is no stranger to election interference, because he had election manipulation happen to gain him that presidency. So why not use those tactics that you know, Donald Trump, like the back of your molded, crusted up hand, and use them against Zohran Mamdani to prevent him from becoming mayor? How dare you sit here and threaten the population of New York City and its demographics to not elect Zohran Mamdani as its mayor because you threaten to withhold funding, federal funding, that is allocated to New York City, if needed. You threaten to withhold that funding and revoke it because you don't like the person who could possibly be elected. Blatant discrimination and blatantly un-American. Un-American. You want to talk about un-American? Donald Trump is the most un-American president we have had. I'm not talking about in the past 5 years. I'm not talking about in the past 10 years, in the 20 years. No, I'm talking about in the entirety of American history for the almost nearly 300 years that America has existed. This is the most un-American, not America first president we have had. And it is slowly and meticulously actually being evolved and excavated and shown to the public. And I hope that people see it sooner rather than later. So in regards to this weaponization of his autocratic power against New York City to threaten New York City to not elect Zohran Mamdani as its mayor because he doesn't agree with the principles and the policies that Zohran is putting forth. I mean, you have to look at the principles that guideline this in regards to the money of it all. Donald Trump doesn't control America's money. And he literally said, where is it? Let's see. Remember, he needs the money from me as president. Has Donald Trump actually went to any sort of diplomatic / law school or any sort, taken even a course in regards to our separation of powers and where the money actually comes from? Because the money comes from Congress, not the president. Yes, you are the executive, but the legislative branch handles, and Congress specifically handles the dealings when it comes to the allocation of funds. And Congress is the one that actually disperses those funds. Not you, Donald Trump. You get to sit there and look, I don't want to say pretty. Definitely not pretty. Even though some people would. But you get to sit there as president, but you don't get to dole out and dictate where funds go in regards to states. And you certainly don't get to weaponize your power, your falsified power as president and potential dictator, to say, you guys better not elect Zohran Mamdani. He's in the running, he's in the winning, and I believe Zohran is going to win because people are tired. People were tired from prior to Trump because Biden wasn't the best. People are tired during Trump because Trump is now showing to be the nasty, rotten, un-American individual he is. And maybe now we can turn to Zohran Mamdani in regards to New York City and say, okay, maybe we can take a change here, take a little left in the route and see if this works. So Trump is pissed, Trump is mad, and he's using Truth Social to spout racism as well as election manipulation and interference tactics in regards to a New York City mayoral election. It's insanity. Get a book, read How Our Government Works, Donald Trump, and maybe you won't have so many lawsuits against you. Maybe you won't have so many court cases against you if you just read how our country works.